What is up, you guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart on the speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing?
Better than last week.
Oh yeah, a lot better than last week. Last week in week 2, this week that just ended, Dallas, we ended on a 10-6 record for week 2, and now we move on to the week 3 game picks. Spoiler alert, we got 3 potential locks, and we'll get into them by order. But first, we want to start out with our game for Sunday afternoon. We got the Carolina Panthers coming off of their loss last night to the New Orleans Saints, coming to Seattle, coming off of our big win against the Detroit Lions. Got the Panthers taking on the Seahawks this Sunday. Going to be a live environment, especially with the 10-year reunion of the Super Bowl 48 team coming to town. KJ mentioned some names like Chris Clemens coming back to town, Red Bryant coming back to town. I'm excited to see all the guys from that legendary Seahawks Super Bowl team come back in and hopefully get to see the Lombardi Trophy back in the house again. That atmosphere is going to be lit. I'm excited to see the legends of that 2013 Seahawks defense return to a lit atmosphere. Hopefully we get Marshawn Lynch in the house too and the Legion of Boom. That sounds like an awesome day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think on that, Dallas?
Yeah, a lot of great memories for sure.
Oh yeah, and it's gonna be awesome, especially that new season of Boom series that's gonna be starting off with the chapters and whatnot. I don't know if that's gonna be on Seahawks.com or on YouTube. That's gonna be an interesting series to watch. I cannot wait to watch that series. But yeah, Seahawks versus Panthers, man. Bryce Young, he's a little iffy. I mean, he did have the touchdown pass to Thielen. They only lost by 3 points to the Saints because the Saints just manhandled them on defense, and they were hanging in there. They still got their defense, but now pretty much with last year, I'll tell you what. I've had this game marked on my calendar ever since last year when we played them. I'm dying for some payback after last year.
Yeah, so am I. Falling for that trap game late in the year last year.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not taking these guys lightly at all. I'm taking this game very serious. We got a chance to get back above 500, and I think this week we can do it. I'm not going to assume it, but I think if our offense can show up the way they did in Detroit, I think we got a good chance of winning this game. We just got to look out for Burns on that defense and freaking got to shut down the run with Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, and we got to lock down Adam Thielen, one of their best receivers on their team, which obviously is Adam Thielen. We've got to shut down Thielen and their other weapons, but let's bring it on. Let's just show up and continue where we left off with the offense in Detroit, and let's try to get to 2-1. I'm taking the Seahawks. Let's get some revenge from last year. Give me the Seahawks, but I'm not taking this game lightly, that's for sure. But I want revenge.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks as well, but I'm not going to overlook the Panthers. I think they carry the momentum from last week. I think they're feeling a lot better about themselves after that bounce back win against Detroit.
Yeah, and especially it's got to be motivating knowing that you got the Super Bowl 48 champions reunion. So that's got to be another motivating factor to win for the anniversary of Super Bowl 48. Granted, Bobby Wagner's still playing for us.
Yeah, is he the lone member?
He's the lone member of the Super Bowl 48 team still on the squad.
Since we re-signed him, because he was with the Rams last year.
And then we had Bruce Irvin last year, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, now let's jump back to the beginning of the week. Starting it off, we got Thursday Night Football. We got the New York Giants taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The Giants came back from a 20-0 halftime lead, which got to 28-7. Just what happened to the Arizona Cardinals just clunked it, man. Like, they're tanking.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Cardinals remembered that they're supposed to be tanking, but the Giants, Daniel Jones had a rushing touchdown to start off. Saquon Barkley, 2 rushing touchdowns before he ends up getting injured, and the Giants end up coming back in the desert against the Arizona Cardinals to win the game 31-28. San Francisco 49ers were in a tough battle with the Los Angeles Rams, but ended up pulling it out at the end in SoFi Stadium 30-23. But man, I tell you what, man, this is the first one. Like I said, spoiler alert, 3 locks. This is lock number 1. Give me the 49ers to just run all over the Giants. If you get down the way you did last week against the Cardinals, granted, you were lucky that you were playing the Cardinals. If you get down like that against the 49ers, there's no coming back from that. 49ers, lock of the week number 1.
Yeah, I gotta make this a lock as well. the Giants have not looked good through 2 weeks. I just haven't liked what I'm seeing. I just haven't liked what I saw from them. Yeah, I got to go with the 49ers big because short week for the Giants, no Saquon. Yeah, I think it could be a long night for the Giants.
Yeah, and I wanted to stay on the West Coast since they were already in Arizona. And let's be real, the Giants were playing the Cardinals, and we all know the Cardinals are absolute garbage this year.
Yeah, that should have been an easy win for the Giants.
Yeah, and they
That
had.
was one of the ugliest win you'll ever get.
Oh yeah,
Having to come back from 20 down against a horrible Cardinals team.
yeah. Whew. All right. Up next, we got the Atlanta Falcons going to Detroit to take on the Detroit Lions. The Falcons got, and man, I'll tell you what, I cannot believe the Falcons were able to pull off that win against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers pulled an Atlanta Falcons against the Atlanta Falcons, as Dirty Rob said on his game picks. The Packers pulled the Falcons against the Falcons.
Packers let one slip away, that's for sure.
Yeah, their offense was hot, but then it just was non-existent later on. And the Falcons, Desmond Ridder had a nice little touchdown run on 4th down and got it in. And then Younghoe Koo made the 2 big kicks, and the defense just stepped up to get the big stop to end up winning that, securing the 25-24 win over the Packers. Meanwhile, the Detroit Lions, well, they took us to overtime in a crazy game. They were up, but let's be real. You turn the ball over 5 times, you're not going to win. We're just fortunate that freaking Jason Myers missed kicks didn't freaking come back to bite us. And even if we had those points, if we had those 6 points on the board,
We wouldn't even have gone to overtime.
yeah, we would have won that game in regulation. That game would not have gone to overtime. And the Lions,
Boneheaded sack by Geno Smith.
yeah, but still though,
That could have really came back and bite us.
but what happened
It
to
didn't.
what costed the Lions ultimately? The turnovers. And they turned the ball over 5 times if you include the 2 turnover on down stops that Devin Witherspoon had. And then, of course, you had the fumble before the end of the half. Granted, that would never have meant anything because there was already the last play of the half. So, because there was 0 seconds when they threw that ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown before he got stripped and lost it, And then pretty much the Uchenna Nwosu strip on frickin' David Montgomery, which got us back.
Yeah,
Which
that was a game changer right there.
yeah, Nwosu changed that game with that big strip sack on Montgomery to set up the Kenneth Walker touchdown to tie the game. And then Trey Brown's pick 6 to make it 31-21 before they ended up coming back. And then our offense just not... Obviously, like I said, Drew Lock did his best Tavares Jackson impersonation, winning the coin toss, and our offense just drove it down their throats. And Tyler Lockett got the tip of the football, hitting the pylon to win the game. And yeah, Lions, we put them in for they set themselves up for a letdown after all the hype riding on them after beating Kansas City in week 1.
Yeah.
Yep, they're at home again though. This time to Atlanta Falcons, and the Lions are still well coached. Dan Campbell got them going in the right direction. Jared Goff's still having a hell of a year with Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They might lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson for the year, unfortunately, because of the injury that he had in the game. I heard that this could be a season-ending injury for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So that's got to be a tough loss for their defense. But regardless of it, I'm going to take the Detroit Lions to bounce back and get to 2-1 and hand the Falcons their first loss of the year. I'm taking the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Lions as well. They got to be pissed off after losing that tough one last week against us. I like them to get to 2-1 and hand the Falcons their first loss.
Yep, agreed. Up next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers going to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. 2 0-2 teams. The Chargers lost in overtime to the Tennessee Titans, and the Minnesota Vikings down for the most part, but gave their best effort to come back in that game against the Philadelphia Eagles, only losing 34-28. Jordan Addison had a big touchdown in that game too, but it was too little too late. Good effort by Minnesota. The Chargers though, man, what's up with the Chargers right now, man?
I don't know. They're off to a slow start.
Yeah, same with Minnesota too. Even with their stud receivers in Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and their rookie sensation Jordan Addison. I think that's his name. Is it Jordan Addison?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordan Addison, I mean, they still got the three-headed monster, but where the defenses and where the big playmakers at? I mean, the fact that the Vikings were able to gave their best effort to claw back in it, and the Chargers just blew it in overtime to the Tennessee Titans last week. I mean, granted, they were giving them a run, but Justin Herbert hasn't really been playing his best football lately, and this is really this is kind of a tough one to pick, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but to take it from Yinzer Max Sports, when in doubt, go with the home team, man. I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings to put the LA Chargers at 0-3. This is really a tough one, but I'm gonna go Minnesota. I'm gonna take the home team.
Yeah, I'm going to take Minnesota as well to get off the schneid and keep the Chargers winless.
Yeah, but that's gonna be an interesting game.
Inspiration Bowl.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one to keep my eye out on while I'm waiting to get into the stadium, or when I get inside the stadium to do my player interactions. That's for sure, man.
Yeah,
I definitely would.
I call this a desperation bowl.
I hope they show that game on the screen at Lumen Field while I do my player interactions. I want to see what happens.
I would imagine they would. Two playoff teams from last year that are off to slow starts that are desperate for a win.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the New Orleans Saints going to Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers. The Saints just squeaked out a 20-17 win over the Carolina Panthers last night on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers pulled a Falcons oddly enough against the Falcons, choked it and lost by 1 point, 25-24 to the Atlanta Falcons. Jordan Love, the offense, they got it going on, and Jordan Love looks like he's been everything that the Packers were hoping to get after the whole end of the Aaron Rodgers era. So Jordan Love's his future looks bright right now, I would still say, but just an unfortunate choke job loss that they had, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They had a great opportunity to get to 2-0.
Yeah, had a great opportunity, but they blew it away. Meanwhile, New Orleans Saints, they got the defense. Offense is questionable still. I think didn't Jamal Williams get injured? Hence Tony Jones got who was one. I think Tony Jones used to be with the Seahawks, and he came off the Saints practice squad and scored a touchdown in that game for the Saints against the Carolina Panthers. But
yeah, I think Jamal Williams must have got hurt for New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean the Saints, they got the good defense, but offense a little shaky at times. I mean Derek Carr's making some questionable throws, throwing interceptions. I mean, obviously they're lucky they were playing the Panthers, which Bryce Young, I mean, he's making those mistakes too, throwing some interceptions and taking some unnecessary sacks too. But Green Bay Packers, the Saints, their defense will keep it in. This is going to be a close game in Lambeau Field, but I'm going to lean towards the Green Bay Packers to get to 2-1. I'm going to take the Packers to beat the Saints. I hope this is a good game, though. I'm gonna lean toward Green Bay, though, because the game's in Lambeau Field. We all know how tough Lambeau Field is to play.
Yeah, this is a really tough one. Yeah, I guess I'll go Green Bay to get a win in their home debut. But this game could go either way. I would not be surprised if I get this wrong.
I wouldn't be surprised if I get this wrong either.
The Saints defense is really good.
Yeah, but coming out of the dome and going into Lambeau Field, we all know Lambeau Field is a much more tougher place to play.
I think Green Bay is going to be a little pissed off after blowing that game at Atlanta last week.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, up next we got the Houston Texans going to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans fell to the Indianapolis Colts, even though Anthony Richardson got knocked out with a concussion, and Gardner Michelle, as Chris Berman would do, threw a couple of touchdowns to pretty much ice the game away. Meanwhile, the Jacksonville Jaguars lost to the Kansas City Chiefs at home in Duval, 17-9. Where do we remember that score from, Dallas?
Both times against the Eagles in 2019.
With the Seahawks, yep. And oddly enough, who was the Eagles head coach at the time when we beat them by that score twice?
Well, it just happens to be Doug Peterson.
And Doug Peterson was the victim for a third time for another 17-9 loss, this time against Andy Reid, who he was an assistant under in Kansas City before going to Philly and winning that Super Bowl with Philly, and before ultimately ended up in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yep. Jaguars versus Texans, AFC South rivalry. Trevor Lawrence, they got to be pissed about dropping that game to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I got them this is an easy pick. I got the Jaguars bouncing back and getting a win. Give me the Jags to put the Texans to 0-3. Give me Jacksonville.
Yeah, give me Jacksonville to bounce back and keep the Texans winless. The Texans are still
the Texans.
They're still years away, I think, from contending. They're still one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, CJ Stroud really got to show me something before we can even start believing in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Denver Broncos going to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. The Broncos choked a lead to the Washington Commanders and Sam Howell. Russell Wilson threw up a Hail Mary and got it, but they just couldn't convert the two. I could not believe the Broncos blew that game to the freaking Washington Commanders.
They were in command of that game.
And then they freaking blew it. Nothing.
Their defense just let them down. I don't know what happened in the second half.
And meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins coming out of a close battle with the New England Patriots, winning 24-17. Granted, they stopped the lineman on a last play lateral on fourth down, just short of getting the first down, and barely squeaked it away. Miami Dolphins are 2-0. Broncos are 0-2, and yeah, I'm going to lean towards Miami. Miami's definitely way better than the Broncos. I don't know what's going on with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson right now. That's just, one would think they would have been better, and right now granted, Wilson had
the Broncos should be better.
They should be better. I mean, Wilson had a nice dot.
They definitely should have won. They definitely should have won last week, and probably they should have beat the Raiders in week 1.
Yeah.
If not for the kicker.
Yeah.
Missing a field goal and an extra point.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson had a nice bomb to Marvin Mims earlier in there, but, let's be real. Denver, it looks like they're still shitty like last year. They're still shitty like last year. Hell, there's rumors that if after this year, if Russell Wilson continues to play this bad and whatnot too, granted, I know he almost let him back, but I think there's a chance the Broncos possibly could move on from Russell Wilson after this year.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Give me the Miami Dolphins. Broncos are starting 0-3. Give me the Dolphins.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins to keep it rolling. It might be another long year for Denver.
Yeah. By far and away. The misery continues after the trade.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans going to Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Browns. The Titans squeaked it out at home in overtime over the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, the Browns lost to a tough Pittsburgh defense. That defense got after Deshaun Watson. I think that Pittsburgh defense got over 6 sacks. In the first play, Watson got picked 6 by Alex Highsmith and then freaking got stripped by Alex Highsmith, which was scooped and scored by T.J. Watt, which T.J. Watt took it in for a touchdown, scoring his first ever defensive touchdown in the NFL. Congratulations, T.J. Watt. All 3 Watt brothers have now scored touchdowns in the NFL. Granted, J.J.'s now retired. And we know Derek Watt's probably scored with the Chargers. I don't know if he's scored a touchdown with the Pittsburgh Steelers yet. Yinzer Mac, let me know down in the comments below when you drop your thing. But, yeah, the Cleveland Browns, and definitely want to say thoughts and prayers to Nick Chubb after that crazy, devastating leg injury that he had in that game. Hoping for a speedy recovery to Nick Chubb. I'm glad I didn't see that because I was watching parts of the Panthers and Saints game because obviously the Seahawks play the Panthers next week. But definitely my thoughts and prayers are with Nick Chubb after that injury that he had.
Yeah. So are mine.
Yeah, especially it looks similar to an injury that he had at back when he was playing in Georgia.
Yeah, talented player. It sucks to see him get injured like that.
Yeah, but other than that, though, I mean, the Steelers defense really got after Deshaun Watson. Titans got a good defense, too. I expect them to get after Watson, force Watson to make mistakes. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the Titans to get the 2-1 here in Cleveland. Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, this is another kind of tough one.
Yeah.
Give me the Browns to bounce back.
Ooh,
they gotta be pretty damn pissed losing last night on Monday Night Football.
All right.
And I think maybe they'll rally behind the Nick Chubb injury.
Yeah, I just think the Titans got a little bit of a better defense, and Watson was just making a lot of big-time errors and mistakes in that game, too, for the Cleveland Browns, and just choked it away.
Our second split, and it's involving the Titans again.
Yeah, it is involving the Titans. Yeah. It
I
was.
thought for sure we might split on New Orleans and Green Bay. That was really tough.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Buffalo Bills going to Washington to take on the Washington Commanders. The Buffalo Bills just absolutely dominated the Las Vegas Raiders at home, 38-10. Commanders with that crazy comeback, come from behind win, and just stopping a 2-point conversion to avoid overtime, winning at 35-33 in Denver. What a crazy comeback that was, and a crazy finish to that game. And can't believe the Commanders are 2-0 right now.
Yeah, they might be the worst 2-0 team I've seen.
But the new ownership group, they got to be happy. The new ownership group's got to be very happy with this. I mean, but Sam Howell. But let's be real, they're getting ready to take on the Buffalo Bills. I can't believe Dirty Rob actually picked this for his upset. I don't see it happening.
Well, me either.
Give me Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo to knock the Commanders back down to earth a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the battle of a current Baltimore team and an old Baltimore team. We got the Indianapolis Colts going to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The Colts took care of their business against the Houston Texans. Granted, I think they will most likely be without Anthony Richardson because of the concussion. Let's see how Anthony Richardson, if he passes protocol, if he'll be able to play. If not, we'll probably most likely be seeing Gardner Minshew from
Wazoo.
Yep. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens squeaked out a 3-point win against the Cincinnati Bengals. I can't believe the Bengals are 0-2, but man, Ravens, Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, 2-0, man. So, man, just see if the Ravens can keep Lamar Jackson upright and healthy this year. But that was a crazy to see the Ravens pull off that win against the Bengals.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're taking on Indianapolis. This time, no Anthony Richardson, most likely. Most likely going to be Gardner Minshew. We'll see what happens, but I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens to get the win against the Colts. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah, give me the Ravens to get to 3-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I can't see Indianapolis pulling it off.
Nah, I don't see it either. If they don't have Anthony Richardson, no chance. But we'll see. But I like the Ravens a little bit better. The Ravens got a better defense, though.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we got the New England Patriots going to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Jets. And obviously, we know what happened to the Jets. Got absolutely killed by Micah Parsons in that Dallas Cowboys defense. The Cowboys definitely lived up to that lock last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, New England Patriots, though. The Patriots freaking lost only by 7 points to the Miami Dolphins. Jets are 1-1. Patriots are 0-2. And can Bill Belichick continue his ownership of the Jets? If Aaron Rodgers was playing in this game, I'd be picking the Jets, but I'm kind of questioning that. Both these teams got good defenses, and Bill Belichick just always seems to have his way with the freaking Jets. I mean, he swept them. How many wins in a row does Belichick have against the Jets? 7?
Something like that. It might even be more than that.
Yeah, I mean, Belichick just owns the Jets.
I can't remember the last time the Jets beat the Patriots.
Yeah, me neither, man. I can't even remember that last time. Someone dropped that in the comments down below, too.
Was it 2015?
With Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, that overtime win?
Maybe.
That might have been the last time.
You know what, man? I could kind of see this. I mean, granted, Jets got a good defense, but, Bill Belichick...
Zach Wilson looked absolutely horrendous last week, though.
And he looked horrendous against the same Patriots team last year, too, with all those interceptions he threw.
Yeah.
You know what? I might take a shot in the dark here. I'm gonna say Belichick. I mean, I don't know. I hope it's a good game. This game could go either way, but if with Zach Wilson, if he struggles so much against Belichick's defense, I think it'll be close with field goals, but I'm going to say Bill Belichick continues his ownership. I'm going to take the Patriots.
Yeah, give me the Patriots to get off the schneid and get their first win of the year. The Jets, I know it was just one game, but they look really bad without Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. And
Granted, they hung in there at halftime, but they weren't going to beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, exactly. And Micah Parsons, like I said, we said Micah Parsons was going to eat Zach Wilson for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And he did just that.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, we got the Chicago Bears taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bears lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, and the Kansas City Chiefs got their first win of the season against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 17-9, just like what the Seahawks did to the Eagles twice in 2019 season. I think this could be the week where Mahomes finally gets it going and the offense can start pouring on more points. This is lock of the week number 2, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs big. Lock of the week.
Number 2.
The Bears have looked pretty bad. They might be one of the worst teams in the league again this year.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping Justin Fields and DJ Moore could get it going this year. I mean, kind of disappointed. There was a lot of hype right around after the Bears made that trade the number 1 pick to get all that from Chicago, and they're 0-2 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is lock number 2.
Yeah.
I think Mahomes gets it going and the offense starts getting it going.
This is the biggest spread of the week, too.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Dallas Cowboys going to the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Like I said, the Cowboys just freaking did their thing and just killed the Jets 30-10. They lived up to that lock. Micah Parsons just destroyed Zach Wilson throughout that game. And the Arizona Cardinals with the... unless they forgot that they're supposed to be tanking, blew a 28-7 lead to the New York Giants. Isaiah Simmons' got his revenge, but in crazy fashion. But the offense, Saquon Barkley's Daniel Jones' touchdowns, Saquon's 2 touchdowns, and Daniel Jones' touchdown to give the freaking Giants the lead. And then tie the game, and then they kicked that late field goal and just got the stop. The Cardinals, they're the butt of the NFC West. Let's be real. The Cardinals are just an absolute dumpster fire. And like you said, I bet Jonathan Gannon regrets taking that job.
Yeah, they are a train wreck. It's going to take them probably 5-6 years to get back into contention.
Yeah. Lock of the week number 3. Cowboys massacre in the desert. Cowboys are going to annihilate the Cardinals, and it's not going to be close. Lock number 3, Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys lock number 3 of the week. This game should be over at halftime.
Oh yeah,
The Cowboys should have no problem in this game.
Yeah, Micah Parsons is gonna destroy Joshua Dobbs, and it's not debatable. The Cardinals are gonna be 0-3, guaranteed. Yeah. Cardinals 0-3. It's not debatable. The Cardinals are just absolute garbage.
Yeah, I mean, they blew a 20-0 halftime lead. I mean,
to the Giants of all teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Up next, we got the Sunday Night Football game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Las Vegas to take on the Las Vegas Raiders. The Steelers got that big win. Well, their defense won on that game against the Cleveland Browns, and the Raiders got absolutely blown out by the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. And I just got to say with the Steelers, man, that defense is still. I mean, granted, I know they got wrecked by San Francisco week 1, but TJ Watt is incredible. Freaking Alex Highsmith getting the pick 6 on the first play of the game, and freaking Kenny Pickett hitting George Pickens for that big 71-yard touchdown where George Pickens just turned on the Jets and gassed the secondary and just freaking took it to the house. And they really got after Deshaun Watson that game. 6 sacks, or maybe a little more than 6 sacks did that Steelers defense have?
Yeah, they got all after Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, and the Las Vegas Raiders got absolutely crapped on by the Buffalo Bills. Games in Las Vegas, another one of the historic rivalry matches dating back to the Immaculate Reception. Last year, we know what happened. The Pittsburgh Steelers barely squeaked it out at home on the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. Granted, Franco Harris, rest in peace, died before the celebration. Yeah. You know what? Give me the Steelers to go into Vegas and get another win. I like the way that defense was playing, and I think they could take it to Jimmy Garoppolo and force even more turnovers. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to get another win.
Yeah, give me the Steelers to get 2 in a row. I did not like what I saw from Las Vegas last week.
Yeah, neither did I.
They looked really bad.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the first of two Monday night games. We got the Philadelphia Eagles going to Tampa Bay to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's crazy to say that the Buccaneers are 2-0 right now, and the Philadelphia Eagles, they were obviously going to be 2-0. But what's been up with the Eagles? They let their opponents hang around, and let the Patriots hang around in Week 1, and then they let the Vikings somewhat come back and hang around. You know, it's like sometimes you would think the Eagles would start getting it together with the way they were starting last year when they went on that 10-0 run.
Yeah, they haven't looked impressive.
I mean, granted, I know the rookie Jalen Carter's been one of the most impressive pieces of the rookies that they got. Jalen Carter's been living up to the hype down there, that's for sure. Meanwhile, Baker Mayfield, having Tampa Bay at 2-0, but look at the teams Tampa's played, though. They played Minnesota, and then they freaking played the Chicago Bears last week. They played weak competition. This is Tampa's first real test. And I think Tampa gets handed their first loss of the season. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles to get the 3-0.
Yeah, give me Philadelphia to get to 3-0 and hand the Tampa Bay Buccaneers their first loss. I still don't think the Buccaneers are going to be very good this year.
Neither do I.
Yeah, they beat the biggest frauds last year, the Vikings, and then they beat a really bad Bears team.
Mm-hmm.
Bears team at home.
That they did. Whew, all right. Last but not least, Monday Night Football game number 2. We got the LA Rams going to Cincinnati to take on the Cincinnati Bengals, a Super Bowl 56 rematch. The Rams, they hung in there with the 49ers, couldn't quite get it done. Puka Nacua, however we pronounce it. Puka Nacua, he's looking pretty good, man. I gotta say, I'm impressed with Puka Nacua, and just the fact that the Rams were able to still hang in with the 49ers. Cincinnati Bengals lost by 3 to the Baltimore Ravens. And Burrow's clearly hurt. Burrow is hurting still. That calf is still affecting him.
He's questionable for this game.
Yeah, I don't know if Burrow's going to play this game. Even if he does, I don't see him pulling it off. I got the Los Angeles Rams getting the 2-1. Give me the Rams to go into Cincinnati to get their second win.
Yeah, give me the Rams to get to 2-1 and drop the Bengals to 0-3. And if that happens, I think the Bengals are in some serious trouble. That's a pretty big hole to dig yourself out of.
Yeah, Bengals will be in absolute panic mode if they drop to 0-3. Which, if they don't have Joe Burrow, it's gonna be 0-3 for the Bengals.
Yeah, and the Rams and the Bengals won't get any revenge for Super Bowl 56.
No, they won't. All right, and there you have it. Our picks for Week 3. We got the 49ers lock number 1 of the week over the Giants. We got the Lions over the Falcons, the Vikings over the Chargers, the Packers over the Saints, the Jaguars over the Texans, the Dolphins over the Broncos. I took the Titans. Dallas took the Browns. That's our second split this season. We agreed on Bills over Commanders, Ravens over Colts, Patriots over Jets, Seahawks over Panthers. Knock on wood, hope that it happens, that we get revenge. Chiefs over the Bears, lock number 2 of the week. And lock number 3 of the week, Cowboys over the Cardinals, our third and final lock of this week. Steelers over the Raiders, Eagles over the Buccaneers, and Rams over the Bengals on Monday Night Football in the Monday Night doubleheaders. And drop your picks down in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. What do you think, Dallas? Gonna be a fun week.
Yeah, it will be.
Oh, man. Anyway, catch y'all later. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.